Hello and welcome to Sharon Local History. Welcome to Sharon, Massachusetts. In this video I did a little recording and took some pictures of our hike yesterday, which was organized by Sharon Friends of Conservation, and I think over 30 people joined us for this annual hike on Morse Loop, which is part of Borderland State Park, and this hike was led by Rita. I would like to thank her. We met in front of Rita's house. Rita is one of the members, long-term members of Sharon Friends of Conservation, and we hiked on Mountain Street to the entry point on what is basically Rattlesnake Hill. We were so happy to see so many people, and I would like to thank you all for joining us. So now we entered the woods and we are hiking towards the Morse Loop. Morse Loop is part of Borderland State Park, and there are a few different ways you can approach it. We decided to walk from the Mountain Street. You can also use Gorwin Street, or you can go through the main entrance, but it takes a while to get to Morse Trail. So the Morse land, as it used to be called, was over 200 acres, I believe, and it was owned by Morse family. Morse family, as you may know, are one of the original white settlers to what we call now Sharon. We are actually doing research on Morse family, and we will have a display very soon. And our researcher Claire Foreman found out that the Morse family basically came here early 1600, 1638, I believe. So here I'm making fun of everybody who is walking across this very wet area. Nobody fell in. I'm very pleased. So now we approach the Morse Loop. There is a map. You can find the map on Borderland State Park website. There are a few different loops you can do. Sometimes they are very easy to follow. However, when the leaves fall down and fall, it may be a little challenging. But still, I highly recommend you to visit this area. It's simply beautiful. So I would like to thank Sharon Friends of Conservation for organizing this great hike and doing it every year. And I also would like to thank them for extending their invitation to Sharon Historical Society, and we were very pleased to see a few members from Stoughton Historical Society and Canton. And as you can see, everybody was ignoring this beautiful granite that was split the old-fashioned way. So again, I think it was over 30 people. This is just half of the group. It was a fantastic hike, and it's a great area to be in, and we enjoy discovering the nature as well as history. The history of this area is really deep. There was lots of mining done in the area, granite mining, and there is a quarry where they took granite for a Canton viaduct. We already made a video on it in the past. You can find it under Moyles Quarry, Moyles. And right here actually, Jean and Steve are walking on a dam which was made artificially in the 1960s by Robert Morse, who is father of Richard Morse, that everybody must know in Sharon because he owns his own excavating company and he does amazing job. If you need septic ever, call this guy because he is awesome. Richard Morse, Dick Morse. But his father opened a first shooting preserve in Massachusetts. I believe it was in 1962. Once again, I made a video on this in the past. So that was the lake that we all enjoyed and stopped for a little bit. And here you can hear a president of Stoughton, Dwight McCarron.
Oh man, it's great.
I mean, if that is or absent sassafras, you see a lot of it. Never that big. And I'm not positive it is sassafras, but.
So what's the history of sassafras in the United States?
Huh?
What's the history of sassafras?
Well, Gosnold, when he came over, the first white man here, took the roots back to England because they were a good commodity. But then the market fell out of the sassafras,
And the Elizabeth Islands,
and
yeah.
so they didn't bring many roots after that. But it looked like it was going to be a good source of sassafras.
They used to make tea, whatever.
Yeah.
So I heard it was number 2 import from United States. Tobacco was first.
Export. Yeah.
Well, but in
export,
what
sorry.
year? Because when
Yeah, right.
Gosnold was here, it was. But Gosnold was the only person here. And he was on
He
Cutting
was
House.
20 years prior to the Pilgrims, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
During these hikes, we try to educate people a little and talk about nature as well as history of the area. It seems like a perfect fit for many. We did learn that most people who join us for our hikes are interested in both, and I really believe that feeding history in small doses is the way to go. So anyhow, we had fantastic time in this area. Dogs were allowed, so it's really great to go for a hike. Of course, well-behaved dogs and bad dogs. These hikes are a fantastic opportunity to be outside and be with somebody. Hiking on your own is not very safe, so I encourage you to join us in the future. I was super thrilled as I was trying to take different pictures from different angles to see how many people were engaged in interesting conversations, and how it's fantastic to see how much we can learn from one another. And walking and hiking is a fantastic combination. So if you would like to join us in the future, keep an eye on Sharon Friends of Conservation website as well as Sharon Historical Society. We all both groups use social media. Facebook is probably the best place to go. You can find most of the information on our pages, or you can, if you are a resident of Sharon, you can go to Sharon WhatsApp. There are tons of opportunities how to volunteer for both organizations as well. We are always short of active volunteers, so please don't hesitate and join us. So here we are back on Mountain Street. We are very thankful for Rita to hosting in her house and offering her home warmth and some snacks and great company.
Thank you, Rita, for hosting.
You're welcome.
Donuts.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you very much for organizers, especially Kurt, Rita, and Gorav, and all that joined us and were able to hike and have great conversation. Hopefully you can join us in the future too. Thank you for watching Sharon Local History.